Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a little bit special. I don't know if you can tell. I am filming on my phone because my camera ran out of battery. But that's not the point. Today I am going to do a TBR video. If you don't know, I don't normally do TBR videos on my channel because I'm such a mood reader and I don't read according to plan. However, in February there are so many major Booktube events happening. There are two readathons I'll be participating in. The first one is the vaLITine readathon held by chaptercxiii, and the second one is the Booktube games held by Myonna from Little Wolf Reads. So I'll just quickly go through these readathons. So basically, vaLITine is a Valentine literature readathon thing held by Cait from chaptercxiii. I'll link her channel and the video to it in the description. And the second readathon I'll be participating in is the Booktube games. It is a kind of Disney Channel inspired game, but in Booktube edition, and it's held by Myonna from Little Wolf Reads. I'll link her channel as well as the description, the introduction to this game, and the Twitter account for the official Twitter account for Booktube games in the description, so you can check it out. So basically the Booktube games doesn't have like a very specific book you have to read, but each team has a specific group book to read together, and I'm from Team Hogwarts, so Team Hogwarts for the win, of course. At the same time, vaLITine has some kind of book challenges for you to read, so it's like you can read a certain books that fit in that category or fit in that challenge. So I have books right here, obviously you can already tell, and I'll be going through one of them. And the group book of Team Hogwarts is Strange the Dreamer, and this book also falls in one of the reading challenge of vaLITine, and it is read a book that you have previously DNF'd. So I don't know if you have been staying on my channel for a while, you know I DNF'd this book last year. I was in like around 60 pages, 60% into the book, and I'm like more than halfway done. The book took me more than a year to read it, and I still haven't finished it. The pacing was not my thing, and it's just not my type. I do realize the writing is beautiful. Maybe I'll pick this up for these two readathons, but so far I don't see myself getting into it. Also, I know if you read group books, you can count the pages count twice as more. So I may consider it, but because like I have so many good books to read in February, I don't want to like have this book on my TBR and drag it even more. So I will consider whether I'm going to read this one, but so far I don't really see myself getting into it. But it exists, and it really have a very good place on both of these readathons, so I think it's worth mentioning. So I have a very random piles of books on my bed, you can see, and I'm just going to go completely random. So the first book is a new release and combining two challenges of vaLITine into one challenge and into one book, and it is Heartstopper by Alice Oldman. So far I know it is a gay romance graphic novel. Never read any graphic novel in my life, or I mean not the YA graphic novel, and I have never read any Alice Oldman book. I never thought this book will be her first ever book I read and will be my first ever graphic novel, but it is what it is. So, and the second challenge is Cold Shower. Read a book that is rumored to have a steamy scene. I'm not sure if this book is steamy scene, but I'm pretty sure it's fluffy, and that is almost the same thing. Not exactly, but you get what I mean. So, and then the second book I have on here is, this might seem very, very familiar to you, and that is because it is Illuminate by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and this is the Taiwanese edition. Why? Because one of the challenge of vaLITine is to the end of the earth, and it is to read a translated work. So if you don't know, my first language is not English, and I speak Cantonese and I read Chinese. I got this book Illuminate for my mom actually, so we can buddy read, but somehow I was in like 100 pages into Illuminate, and I never get through it. I'm not sure if it's because of the format, but it's because of the language. Maybe it's because the language plus the format, I'm not very getting used to it. So since my mom hasn't read this book, maybe I'll just get her copy and read it and see if Chinese is better, is easy to get into. Pretty intrigued by this book. I really do want to read the Chinese translation of it. So yeah, this is going to be on my TBR, and hopefully I can finish this book. So we have another book which is kind of temporary. I'm not sure if it's planned yet. It is Vicious by V. Schwab. So the challenge for this is Together Forever, buddy read a book with someone. Join the vaLITine buddy read roulette, and I was partnered up with Books for Life. We have been discussing about reading Vicious today. I'm not sure will that be the final decision of us, but if there is any update for it, I'll link in the descriptions to let you know. But so far, I'm pretty excited to read that book, and if we are not buddy reading, I think I might still get to it. And the next book on my TBR is Girls of Paper and Fire by Natasha Nan. The challenge for this is Beautiful on the Shelf. To read a book with a beautiful cover, and also the second challenge I'm combining to this book is Living Single. Read a standalone. As far as I know, this is a standalone. If I'm wrong, please correct me. And I have this on my shelf for some while. So I got this in Christmas, and yeah, I've been wanting to read it in January. So, yeah, I'll be reading this. Hopefully can get into it. So far, I know it includes a female-female relationship, and I'm very excited because I don't think we have that many female-female relationship in YA, so I'm pretty excited to read this. And it includes some Asian culture. So yeah, I can't wait. The next book I have on the list is Archenemies by Marissa Meyer. Fun fact, which is not related to this video, before around this month, like probably in 2018, the entire 2018, I always thought the name of this book is called Archenemies, because like the CH can be pronounced as the K sound, and I always thought it's the Archenemies until, I don't know, a few weeks ago, I watched the Emma Books video, and I just realized that she pronounced it as Archenemies, and a lot of people obviously do pronounce it as Archenemies, so I guess it's Archenemies. So the challenge to this book is Roses Are Red. To read a book with red on the cover. So, red, that's really all the explanation you need. But before I can read this book, I of course need to read the first book in this series, and it is Renegades, also by Marissa Meyer. I'm currently in 100-something pages into it, liking it so far, and we'll get to these two books, and I'm currently reading this, so this is probably going to be my next book on the list, and I'll be reading these two together. Pretty excited for it because I heard so many good things about it. And then next book on the list is The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. The challenge to this is Black History Month. Read a book by a black author. Pacing of the book is also not one of my fave. This took me very long to read, and I'm currently on page 362. I am almost done with it, with like around 70 pages left. I read this book for almost a year now, and the pacing is just not my thing. I read this book at the wrong time, and it just took me very long to read it, and I hopefully can finish those last 70 pages in the book, or maybe I'll just reread the entire thing, not sure, but we will get to that when we get to that. So another book I have on my list is The 1000th Floor by Katherine McGee. The challenge to this is Gift That Keeps Giving. Read a book that has given you as a gift. So this book was given as a gift from my dad in Christmas. Like I said, I wanted to read this in January, but never gotten a chance to. So I hope I will get to this in February. I'm pretty excited. So yeah, so far I know this book is about a skyscraper in Manhattan, and yeah, it is Manhattan. And there is a final book on my TBR, which is not anything in the challenge or anything, and it is To Can Keep a Secret by Karen M. McManus. The debut novel of this author, One of Us Lying, is one of my favorite books of 2018, so I'm pretty excited when this book came out, but this just came in the wrong time when I was reading this book. I really need something that's fantasy that can escape into. So the first 30 pages is very slow paced, so a slow pacing murder mystery is not something that I need to escape into, so I move on to Renegades, and that's why I've stopped reading this. So after reading Archenemies, I think I'll get back to this one and read it because it's a new releases that came out in the early January, and I still have yet to read it, and I'm very excited to read it. So yeah, so I guess that's really all for the TBR video. So here are all the books I'll probably read in February. Again, like I said, these are not like definitely being on my reading. You're definitely not going to see all of these books in my February wrap up. Like I said, I'm a mood reader, so I really read according to my mood. These are all just choices that is available for me to choose in February. So there is also one more book 2 more books on this pile of book, including, and there is a total of, there are already 8 physical book right here, and there is still like 2 missing coming in my mail. So there are 10 books, and like the most maximum books I can read in a month is around 6 books. We're definitely gonna nail this. So yeah, I need to hold this pile for a thumbnail, so I guess I'll hold this pile of book till the end of the video because I normally shoot my thumbnail after the video. But yeah, I'm not wanting to hold down this because when I put down this pile of book, I can never pick it up again. But yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I mean, I feel like I'm posing, so yeah. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. This pile of book is very heavy. I'll probably stop the video right now. Yeah, name is Myonna and I'm from the channel Infinite Bookish, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!